Milwaukee, Wisconsin. January 15, 2019. Jamal Washington has been a plumber for 12 years. Fixed thousands of drains, cleared thousands of clogs, seen everything you could imagine stuck in a pipe. But today, at Lincoln Heights Middle School, his camera picks up something different. Something that looks like fabric, a backpack strap, clothing. He could ignore it. Just snake the drain like always. Clear the clog. Move on to the next job. But something tells him to investigate deeper. He opens the main drainage cleanout in the sealed basement, and what he finds will haunt Milwaukee forever. 6 students, missing for years, hidden in the pipes, right underneath everyone's feet. This is the story of how one plumber's decision to do his job right exposed 16 years of horror. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear this story. If you're comfortable, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you what happened at Lincoln Heights Middle School, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. January 15, 2019. Jamal Washington pulls his work van into the parking lot of Lincoln Heights Middle School. 3rd time this month. Same problem. Clogged drainage in the basement bathrooms. He's 34 years old. Been working for Donovan Plumbing Services for 6 years. Good pay. Benefits. Supports his 2 kids. But lately, something's been bothering him about this particular account. This morning, before he left the shop, his boss, Frank Donovan, gave him the usual instructions. Frank leaned forward, tapping the desk with a pen. Just snake it like always. In and out. Don't overthink it. Jamal asked the question he's been asking for months. He shifted his weight, frustration evident in his stance. Why don't we fix the main line? This school calls us every 2 weeks. Frank leaned back in his chair. 58 years old. Owned Donovan Plumbing for 30 years. Built it from nothing. Now had 12 trucks on the road. He steepled his fingers, looking at Jamal over his glasses. Because they pay us every time. That's good business, Jamal. We fix it permanently. We lose the recurring revenue. You understand? Jamal understood. He just didn't agree. But he needed this job. Single father, 2 kids, rent, bills, car payment. Can't afford to make waves. So he drives to Lincoln Heights Middle School. Again, Lincoln Heights sits on the north side of Milwaukee. Built in 1952. 3 stories, red brick. Chain link fence around the perimeter. Aging but still standing. The neighborhood used to be different. Back in the 50s and 60s, mostly working-class white families, factory workers, union jobs, stable community. By the 80s, white flight happened. Factories closed, jobs disappeared, demographics shifted. Now, 2019, the neighborhood is 78% black, low income, high unemployment. The school reflects that reality. 450 students, 78% black, 15% Latino, 7% other. Underfunded, overcrowded classrooms, outdated textbooks, infrastructure falling apart. But the teachers try. The students try. Everyone does their best with what they have. Jamal walks into the main office. The secretary, Mrs. Palmer, looks up and smiles. She pushes her glasses up her nose. Back again? Jamal nods, resting his heavy tool bag on the counter. Back again. Basement bathrooms? She gestures toward the inner office. Yep, Principal Robertson is expecting you. Principal Helen Robertson appears from her office. She's 62 years old, been principal here for 25 years. Seen the neighborhood change, seen funding dry up, seen good teachers leave for better paying districts. She looks tired, always looks tired. She rubs her temples, looking exhausted. Mr. Washington, same problem. Toilets backing up, sinks draining slow. Can you fix it? Jamal adjusts his cap respectfully. I'll do my best, ma'am. She waves a hand toward the hallway. Jerome will take you down. He's our janitor. He'll show you where everything is. Jerome Caldwell emerges from the hallway. 52 years old. Vietnam veteran. Been working at Lincoln Heights for 28 years. Longer than anyone else on staff. Night shift janitor. Works alone. Keeps the building running. He's tall, thin, weathered face. Doesn't smile much, keeps to himself. Jerome turns without making eye contact, his keys jingling. "Follow me." They walk through the hallways. Lockers line the walls. Student artwork hangs on bulletin boards. The building smells like industrial cleaner and old books. Down the stairs. Into the basement. The temperature drops. Fluorescent lights flicker. Concrete floors. Low ceilings. Exposed pipes running everywhere. Jerome points a gloved finger to a floor drain in the corner of the boys' bathroom. Same spot as always. Backs up every couple weeks. Danny usually comes and snakes it. Takes him 20 minutes. Danny Kowalski, Frank Donovan's nephew. 28 years old. Got the job through family connections. Does the minimum required. Gets paid. Goes home. Jamal has worked with Danny. Watched him cut corners. Snake drains without investigating the root cause. Fix symptoms, not problems. That's how Frank wants it. Keep the customers calling, keep the money flowing. But Jamal's different. His father was a plumber. Taught him. Do the job right or don't do it at all. Take pride in your work. Fix things properly. Jamal sets up his equipment. Camera snake, drain auger, flashlight, pipe wrench, tool bag. He feeds the camera down the drain, watches the monitor. The camera travels through the pipes. 6 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet. The usual debris appears on screen. Hair, soap scum, mineral buildup, tree roots growing through cracks. But then, something different. Something that makes Jamal pause. Fabric, dark blue fabric, moving slightly in the water flow. He zooms in with the camera. Gets closer. It looks like a backpack? A piece of clothing? Jamal pulls the camera back slightly. Angles it different ways, trying to get a better view. Definitely fabric. Definitely not natural buildup. Something that doesn't belong in a drainage pipe. He could snake it, push it through, clear the clog, call it done, like Danny always does. But his father's voice echoes in his head. Do it right. Jamal turns to Jerome, who's standing in the doorway watching. Jamal looks up from the monitor. I need to access the main cleanout. Where is it? Jerome shifts his weight, crossing his arms. That's in the old boiler room. Been sealed off for years. Jamal frowns, looking up from his equipment. Why sealed? Jerome shrugs stiffly. Principal said there were structural issues. Unsafe. Nobody's allowed down there. Jamal looks at his camera screen again, studying the image. I need to check the main line. Can't fix this properly without it. Jerome hesitates, his eyes darting to the hallway. Principal won't like it. Jamal stands up, wiping his hands on his rag. I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm trying to do my job right. If there's a blockage in the main line, snaking this drain won't fix anything. It'll just clog again next week. Jerome studies Jamal for a long moment, then nods slowly. All right, it's your call. But I'm telling you, nobody goes down there. Jamal picks up his flashlight. You have the key? Jerome pats his pocket. Yeah. They walk to the far end of the basement, past the old gym equipment storage, past the unused classrooms, to a heavy metal door. Chains wrap around the handles. A padlock secures them. A sign hangs on the door. Danger, do not enter. Structural damage. Authorized personnel only. Jerome pulls out his key ring, finds the right key, unlocks the padlock. The chains rattle as he unwraps them. The sound echoes in the empty basement. He pulls the door open. Hinges screech. The smell hits immediately. Chemical, musty, damp, and underneath it all, something else. Something wrong. Something organic and rotten. Jamal covers his nose with his forearm, gagging slightly. What is that smell? Jerome shakes his head, keeping his face impassive. Old building. Mold, water damage. Could be anything. Jamal clicks on his flashlight. Steps through the doorway. The boiler room is massive. 30 feet by 40 feet. High ceiling with exposed beams. Old furnaces from the 50s sit silent and rusted. Pipes run everywhere. Cobwebs hang thick in the corners. Dust covers everything. But the room isn't structurally damaged. The walls are solid. The ceiling is intact. The floor is level. This room is fine. So why has it been sealed for years? Jamal sweeps his flashlight around. looking for the main drainage cleanout. There, in the far corner, a large cast iron access panel in the floor, 4 feet by 4 feet, heavy duty, industrial. He walks toward it. The smell gets stronger with every step. Jerome stays by the door, gripping the handle. You sure about this? Jamal sets his jaw, kneeling on the floor. I'm sure. Jamal kneels beside the cleanout panel, runs his hand over it. The bolts are rusted. Been here a long time, but the panel itself looks maintained. Not as dusty as everything else. Someone's been down here. Recently. He pulls out his socket wrench, starts removing the bolts. They resist at first, rusted tight, but they turn, slowly. 1 bolt, 2, 3, 4. The smell intensifies, chemical, sharp, like formaldehyde, like a biology lab. But worse, 5 bolts, 6, 7, 8. The last bolt comes free. Jamal grips the edge of the panel. It's heavy, cast iron, probably weighs 100 pounds. He lifts, strains, the panel shifts, slides. He pushes it aside and freezes. His flashlight beam hits the opening. Bodies, human bodies, small bodies, teenagers, children, preserved, decomposed, wrapped in plastic, stuffed into the drainage system. Jamal's brain refuses to process what he's seeing. His eyes register the images, backpacks, school uniforms, sneakers, hair. But his mind can't accept it. One body is closest to the surface. The plastic wrap has torn. He can see a face, partially decomposed, eye sockets empty, skin pulled tight, but still recognizably human, still recognizably a child. Behind that one, another, and another, stacked, layered, like someone was hiding them, trying to fit as many as possible in the limited space. 6 of them, maybe more beneath, tangled together in a grotesque pile. Jamal's stomach lurches. He stumbles backward. His flashlight falls from his hand, clatters on the concrete floor. The beam rolls, casting moving shadows across the boiler room walls. He tries to breathe. Can't. His chest is tight. His vision tunnels. This isn't real. This can't be real. But it is. The smell proves it. The chemical smell. The decay underneath. The wrongness of it all. He's found bodies before. Mice in drains. Rats in sewage lines. Once, a cat that crawled into a storm drain and died. But never this. Never children. Never multiple children. Never murder. His hands are shaking. His whole body is shaking. He clutches his chest, trying to steady his breathing. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. His knees buckle. He catches himself against the wall. Slides down. Sits hard on the cold concrete. Jerome appears in the doorway. His footsteps echo. Jerome's voice sounds distant as he peers into the gloom. What? What's wrong? Jamal points at the cleanout, his hand shaking violently. There are kids in there. Dead kids. Multiple kids. Jerome steps forward, looking into the opening, his face going pale. What the? Jamal scrambles for his phone. His hands are trembling so badly he can barely grip it. It slips, falls, bounces on the concrete. He grabs it, fumbling as it slips from his grasp again. No, no, no. He grabs it. Screen is cracked but still works. His fingers fumble on the screen. Takes 3 tries to unlock it. He can't remember his passcode. Finally gets it. Opens the phone app. Dials 911. The phone rings. Once. Twice. Pick up. Please pick up. 3rd ring. A woman's voice answers. Professional and calm. 911. What is your emergency? Jamal tries to speak. His voice won't work. He swallows. Tries again. Jamal swallows hard. His throat dry. I'm at Lincoln Heights Middle School. In the basement. I found. The words won't come. The operator's voice remains steady. Sir, what did you find? Are you injured? He squeezes his eyes shut. Bodies. Children's bodies. Multiple bodies. In the drainage system. Silence on the other end. Just for a second. Then the operator's voice, more urgent now. There is silence on the other end for a split second. Then the operator speaks with more urgency. Sir, can you repeat that? Did you say bodies? Jamal stares at the open pipe, tears blurring his vision. Yes, dead bodies. Kids. 6 of them, maybe more. They're in the pipes, underground, in the basement. You need to send police. Now. Right now. He hears typing. Rapid clicking. He hears rapid typing on the line. Officers are being dispatched to your location. Lincoln Heights Middle School, correct? Jamal wipes sweat from his forehead with a shaking hand. Yes, the basement, the old boiler room. There's a drainage cleanout. They're inside it. The operator asks the standard question. Are you in immediate danger? Jamal looks at Jerome. Jerome is standing perfectly still, staring at the cleanout. His face is completely white, expression unreadable. Jamal looks at Jerome, who hasn't moved. I don't know. I don't think so. They've been here a long time. They're not fresh. Someone preserved them. Put chemicals on them. The operator's voice is firm. Stay on the line with me, sir. Don't touch anything. Don't move anything. Police are 3 minutes away. What is your name? He leans his head back against the cold wall. Jamal. Jamal Washington. I'm a plumber. I was just trying to fix a drain. I just opened the cleanout and they were there. His voice breaks. He's crying now, tears running down his face. The operator continues to speak calmly. Jamal, you're doing great. Stay with me. Are you alone? Jamal glances at the doorway. No, the janitor is here. Jerome, the school janitor. She asks quickly. Is he injured? Jamal shakes his head. No, he's just standing there, looking. Jerome hasn't moved, hasn't spoken, just stares at the bodies with an expression Jamal can't read. The operator assures him. Okay, Jamal, police are 90 seconds away. Stay where you are. Keep the line open. Jamal nods, even though she can't see him. He sits on the floor, back against the wall, phone pressed to his ear, staring at the cleanout. 6 children, 6 teenagers, someone's sons, someone's daughters, hidden in a drainage pipe, in a school basement, for years, maybe decades. How did nobody know? How did nobody find them? Jerome still hasn't moved, just stands there, frozen, staring. Jamal can hear sirens now, distant, getting closer. Jamal lifts his head as a distant sound grows louder. I hear sirens. The operator confirms. That's our officers. They're almost there. Stay on the line until they reach you. 60 seconds. 90 seconds. Finally, footsteps on the stairs. Heavy boots. Multiple people. Voices. Radio chatter. He hears footsteps on the stairs and screams. Down here. In the boiler room. 4 officers enter. See the cleanout. See the bodies. One officer immediately radios, looking grim. We need homicide. We need the crime scene unit. We need the medical examiner. Multiple victims. Juveniles. Appears to be long-term. Within 30 minutes, the school is surrounded. Squad cars, unmarked detective vehicles, crime scene vans, news helicopters overhead, reporters gathering at the fence. Principal Robertson is in her office, crying. She sits at her desk, sobbing into a tissue. This can't be real. This can't be happening. Not at my school. Not here. Detective Sarah Jonas arrives, 43 years old, Homicide Division, 20 years on the force, seen everything, or thought she had. She descends into the basement, enters the boiler room, looks into the cleanout, takes a deep breath, steadies herself. Detective Jonas takes a deep breath and turns to her partner. Get the medical examiner down here. Full crime scene protocol. I want photos, measurements, every detail documented. And get me a list of every student who's gone missing from this school in the last 30 years. The crime scene team works through the night, carefully extracting the bodies, photographing everything, collecting evidence. 6 bodies total, all juveniles, ages approximately 12 to 16, all in various states of decomposition. The oldest has been here approximately 16 years. The newest, approximately 4 years. All have been treated with chemicals, formaldehyde, embalming fluid, something to slow the decay, something to reduce the smell. All still have identification, school IDs in their backpacks, personal items, phones, wallets. By morning, Detective Jonas has names. Victim 1, Aaliyah Davis, age 14, missing since May 2003. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after basketball practice. Victim 2, Tyrone Mitchell, age 15, missing since September 2005. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after debate team practice. Victim 3, Keisha Williams, age 13, missing since March 2007. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after choir rehearsal. Victim 4, Darnell Thompson, age 16, missing since November 2009. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after football practice. Victim 5, Jasmine Rodriguez, age 12, missing since April 2014. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after science club. Victim 6, Kareem Jackson, age 14, missing since October 2018. Last seen at Lincoln Heights Middle School after Black Students Matter Club meeting. 6 students, all from the same school, all high achievers, all disappeared over 16 years, and nobody connected them. Detective Jonas sits in her car, reads through the missing persons reports. All 6 cases were investigated. Sort of. Aaliyah Davis. Parents reported her missing immediately. Police took a report, searched the neighborhood, interviewed friends, found nothing. Case went cold after 3 months. Parents were told she probably ran away. She didn't. Tyrone Mitchell, same pattern. Report filed. Minimal investigation. Labeled as runaway. Case closed. Keisha Williams, same. Darnell Thompson, same. Jasmine Rodriguez, same. Kareem Jackson, most recent. Investigation was more thorough, but still went nowhere. No leads. No witnesses. Disappeared without a trace. 6 missing children, all from one school, all in a 16-year span. How did nobody see the pattern? Jonas knows the answer. She doesn't want to admit it, but she knows. They were poor. They were minorities. They were from the North Side. When middle-class white kids go missing, it's national news. Amber Alerts, FBI, media coverage. Everyone cares. When poor kids from the North Side go missing, it's a paragraph in the local news. Maybe. If it's a slow news day, the system failed them. All 6 of them. By the next morning, the media has the story. 6 students found dead in Milwaukee school. Every news channel, every website, everyone's talking about it. The families are notified. Detective Jonas does it personally, goes to each house, knocks on each door. Detective Jonas parks outside a small house on the north side. 1723 North Palmer Street. The address from Aaliyah Davis's missing person file. She takes a deep breath. This never gets easier. 16 years these people have waited. Hoped. Wondered. She walks up the cracked sidewalk. Climbs the 3 steps to the porch. Knocks on the door. Footsteps inside. The door opens. A woman stands there. Late 50s. Gray hair pulled back. Tired eyes. She's wearing a work uniform. Home health aide, Jonas guesses. The woman sees Jonas's badge. Her face changes. Color drains from it. Her hand grips the doorframe. She shakes her head, backing away slightly. No, please. Jonas steps closer, her voice soft. Mrs. Davis? The woman looks at her, tears instantly filling her eyes. You found her. You found my baby. Jonas nods slowly, removing her hat. Yes, ma'am. We found Aaliyah. Patricia's legs give out. She grabs the doorframe, stays standing but barely. She grips the wood until her knuckles turn white. Is she? Jonas reaches out to steady her. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Davis. Aaliyah is deceased. We found her remains this morning. The word remains breaks something in Patricia. She makes a sound. Not quite a scream, not quite a cry. Something inhuman, something that comes from deep in the chest where grief lives. She collapses, drops to her knees right there in the doorway. Jonas moves quickly, catches her, helps her inside, to the couch. Patricia is sobbing, full body sobs, rocking back and forth. She gasps for air between sobs. Where was she? Jonas hesitates. This is the worst part. She speaks quietly. At Lincoln Heights Middle School. In the basement. Patricia's head snaps up, shock cutting through the grief. The school? She was at the school this whole time? Jonas lowers her eyes. Yes, ma'am. Patricia stares at the detective, disbelief etched on her face. For 16 years? 16 years I looked for her. I called police. I hired investigators. I put up flyers. I searched every street, every abandoned building. And she was at her school? The whole time? Jonas nods solemnly. I'm so sorry. Patricia's grief turns to anger, her voice rising. Who did this? Who took my baby? Jonas meets her gaze. We have a suspect in custody. Jerome Caldwell. He was the janitor at... Patricia gasps, clutching her chest. Jerome? Jerome Caldwell? I know Jerome. He was there when I reported Aaliyah missing. He helped search the school, he told me. Her voice breaks. He told me he was sure she'd come home. He said girls like Aaliyah always come home. She starts crying again. Harder now. She rocks back and forth, hugging herself. He looked me in the eye. 16 years ago. Stood right in front of me and lied. And she was there. Right there. In his building. And he knew. He knew the whole time. Patricia puts her face in her hands, shoulders shaking. Jonas sits with her. There's nothing to say. No words that make this better. After a long moment, Patricia speaks again, voice quieter now. She wipes her face with a trembling hand. Can I see her? Jonas speaks gently. The medical examiner will need to complete the autopsy first. Then, yes, we'll arrange for you to have her back. Patricia nods, wipes her eyes. She stands up slowly, walking to the phone. I need to call her father, Jerome. He lives in Chicago now, remarried, but he never stopped looking either. He calls me every year on her birthday, asks if there's any news. She looks at Jonas, heartbroken. Now I have news. Jonas repeats this scene 5 more times. 5 more families, 5 more mothers, fathers, grandparents. All of them had hoped. All of them had wondered. All of them had been told their children probably ran away. Probably were runaways. Probably started new lives somewhere. All of them were lied to. By the system. By the police. By everyone who should have cared more. The community explodes. Protests outside the police station. How did you not know? 6 children from one school. Why weren't they protected? Milwaukee's mayor holds a press conference. Promises a full investigation. Promises accountability. Promises this will never happen again. But it already happened. 6 times. Detective Jonas returns to Lincoln Heights Middle School. She needs to understand how this happened. How 6 students disappeared and nobody knew they were in the building the whole time. She interviews Principal Robertson again. Jonas leans forward across the desk. Did you notice a pattern? 6 students missing from your school over 16 years? Robertson's hands shake as she holds her coffee cup. I knew students went missing, but they weren't all at the same time. It was spread out. 2 years between some of them. 3 years. I thought. Everyone thought they ran away. Jonas presses harder. 6 students. All high achievers. All involved in school activities. All disappeared from school grounds. You didn't think that was suspicious? Robertson defends herself weakly. I reported every disappearance to the police. Every single one. I did what I was supposed to do. Jonas shakes her head. But you didn't push. You didn't demand investigations. You didn't connect the dots. Robertson starts crying, covering her face. I failed them. I know I failed them. But I didn't know. I swear I didn't know they were here. In my building. All this time. Jonas believes her. Robertson is negligent. Willfully blind, maybe, but not complicit. Someone else knew. Someone with access to the basement. Someone who could move freely through the building. Someone who had been here for all 16 years. Jerome Caldwell. Jonas pulls Jerome's employment records. Started at Lincoln Heights in 1991. 28 years. Night shift janitor. Works alone. Has keys to everything, including the boiler room. She runs a background check. Jerome Caldwell. Age 52. Vietnam veteran. Honorable discharge in 1976. Moved to Milwaukee in 1988. Married in 1990. Divorced in 2001. No children. No criminal record. Not even a parking ticket. But Jonas digs deeper. Social media, online forums, message boards. And there it is. Jerome's digital footprint. Posts on obscure websites. Racist rants. Complaints about demographics changing. Anger about affirmative action. Posts about kids today don't know their place. One post from 2008, right after Keisha Williams disappeared. These schools used to be respectable. Now they're overrun. Something needs to be done. Another post from 2014. Every year it gets worse. Every year more of them. Taking over everything. Someone has to stop it. Jonas gets a warrant. Searches Jerome's house. Small ranch home on the south side. Modest, clean, organized. But in the basement, hidden behind a false wall, they find it. Trophies, personal items, things that belong to the victims. Aaliyah's basketball jersey, number 23, framed on the wall. Tyrone's debate trophy, first place. State championship, on a shelf. Keisha's choir medal, regional competition, gold. Darnell's football, game ball from homecoming, signed by the team. Jasmine's science fair ribbon, first place, elementary division. Kareem's Black Students Matter button, the one he wore every day. 6 victims, 6 trophies, 6 reminders of what Jerome took from the world. And in a locked filing cabinet, Jonas finds Jerome's computer. Encrypted, password protected. The FBI cyber unit cracks it in 3 days. Inside, detailed logs, dates, times, locations, descriptions. Jerome documented everything. May 18, 2003. Aaliyah Davis. Basketball practice ended at 5 p.m. She stayed late to practice free throws, building empty. I approached her in the gym, told her there was a water leak in the locker room she needed to see. She followed me to the basement, to the boiler room. She fought, stronger than expected. Basketball player. Athletic, but I was stronger. Strangled her with electrical cord. 7 minutes. Then she stopped. Wrapped her in plastic sheeting from maintenance closet. Placed her in the drainage cleanout. Poured embalming fluid. Sealed the panel. Nobody will look there. Nobody ever goes in that room. September 9, 2005. Tyrone Mitchell. Debate practice. Stayed late reviewing arguments. I told him Principal Robertson wanted to see him in the basement storage. Needed help moving boxes. He believed me. Why wouldn't he? I'm staff. Trusted. Been here 14 years. He followed me down. Into the boiler room. I used the cord again. Quicker this time. 5 minutes. He didn't fight as hard. Smaller, not athletic like Aaliyah. Same process. Plastic, chemicals. Sealed in the cleanout. 2 bodies now. Still nobody knows. The log continues. All 6 victims. All documented in horrifying detail. Jerome didn't just kill them. He studied them. Stalked them. Planned each one. Waited for the right moment when they were alone. When nobody would see. He used his position, his access, his keys, his familiarity with the building. And he used the school's negligence. The sealed boiler room that nobody entered. The drainage problems that nobody fixed properly. The plumbing company that only did temporary repairs. For 16 years, Jerome's secret was safe. Until Jamal Washington decided to do his job properly. February 3, 2019. Jerome Caldwell is arrested at his home. Charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder. He doesn't resist. Doesn't deny anything. Just stares at the officers with empty eyes. He holds out his wrists for the handcuffs. Took you long enough. At the police station, Jerome waives his right to an attorney, says he wants to confess, wants to explain. Detective Jonas sits across from him, recording device running. 2 other detectives as witnesses. Detective Jonas sits across from him, the recording device running. Why? Why these 6 students? Detective Jonas studies him across the metal table. The recording device light blinks red. 2 other detectives stand against the wall. Witnesses. Jerome looks comfortable, relaxed, like they're having a casual conversation. That's what bothers Jonas most. The calmness, the lack of remorse. Jerome leans forward, resting his elbows on the table. You want the truth? The real truth? Jonas keeps her expression neutral. Yes. Jerome looks at the wall, lost in memory. I started working at Lincoln Heights in 1991. Back then, it was a good school. Mostly white kids, working class, respectful. Knew their place. The neighborhood was safe. People took care of their property. It was America. Real America. Jonas stays silent. Lets him talk. Lets him hang himself with his own words. He sneers. By the late 90s, things started changing. Demographics shifted. White families moved out. New families moved in. Different families. He says different like it's poison. The school changed. By 2000, maybe 60% of the students were minorities. By 2005, over 70%. By 2010, over 80%. Jonas keeps her face neutral. But inside, she's disgusted. Jonas clenches her jaw. So you killed them because of their race? Jerome shakes his head dismissively. You don't understand. I killed them because they represented everything wrong with this country. They were taking over, replacing us, and everyone was celebrating it. Diversity, inclusion, equity. He spits the words. All those words that really mean get rid of white people. Jonas slams her hand on the table. They were children. Jerome's expression doesn't change. He shrugs. They were the future. The future I couldn't accept, so I eliminated parts of it. She asks the question that haunts her. Why these 6, specifically? Jerome smiles, cold and empty. Because they were the best, the brightest, the ones who were going somewhere. Aaliyah had scholarship offers, Division I basketball. She would have made it. Tyrone was Yale-bound, full ride, debate champion, future lawyer. Keisha had a recording contract interest, talent scouts at her performances. Darnell was the first in his family going to college. Football scholarship. Breaking the cycle. Jasmine was a genius. Science prodigy. NASA internship lined up. And Kareem. Jerome's expression hardens. Kareem was the worst. Started that club. Black Students Matter. Organized protests. Demanded changes. Thought he could make a difference. Thought he had power. I showed him he didn't. Jonas feels sick, swallowing bile. You killed 6 children because they were successful. He leans back in his chair. I killed 6 threats. 6 symbols of what's destroying this country. And if that plumber hadn't gotten curious, I would have killed more. There's a freshman girl, debate team, already making waves. She would have been next. Jonas ends the interview. Can't listen anymore. Jerome Caldwell isn't insane. He's not mentally ill. He's not delusional. He's a racist. A hateful, violent racist who used his position to murder children. And the system let him do it for 16 years. The trial begins November 4th, 2019. The prosecution presents overwhelming evidence. The bodies, the trophies, the computer logs, the confession, the racist online posts. Jerome's court-appointed attorney tries, argues mental illness, argues PTSD from Vietnam, argues anything to avoid the death penalty. But Wisconsin doesn't have the death penalty. The best the prosecution can hope for is life without parole. The families testify. The prosecutor stands. The prosecutor stands and announces. The state calls Patricia Davis. Patricia walks to the witness stand. She's wearing her best dress, navy blue, the one she wore to Aaliyah's 8th grade graduation. Before everything, she's sworn in. Sits down, looks directly at Jerome. He stares back. No expression. Empty eyes. The prosecutor approaches the stand gently. Mrs. Davis, can you tell the court about your daughter Aaliyah? Patricia takes a breath to steady herself. Aaliyah was my only child, born April 2nd, 1989. She came out screaming, mad at the world. That's how she stayed. Fierce, strong, determined. A small smile crosses Patricia's face. A memory. She smiles fondly. She started playing basketball when she was 6. Fell in love with it. Used to sleep with her basketball. I'd find her in the morning curled around it like a teddy bear. Some jurors smile. Others are already crying. She looks out at the audience. By middle school, she was the best player in the city. 14 years old and colleges were already watching her. Division I schools. Scholarship offers coming in. University of Connecticut, called Tennessee, Notre Dame. Patricia's voice wavers. She wipes a tear from her cheek. She had a future. A real future. She was going to be the first in our family to go to college. First to get out. First to make it. She looks at Jerome again. He's still staring. Still empty. She glares at the defendant. May 18th, 2003. She went to basketball practice after school. She always stayed late. Extra practice. Free throws. Layups. Always trying to get better. Patricia wipes her eyes. Her voice trembles. She called me at 5:30. Said practice was over. Said she'd be home by 6. She lived 10 blocks from school. She'd walked it 100 times. Her voice breaks. She takes a shuddering breath. She never came home. I called the school at 6:15. Security guard said the building was empty. Everyone gone. No, Aaliyah. The courtroom is silent. Everyone listening. She looks directly at the jury now. I called police at 6:30. Filed a report. They searched. Interviewed her friends. Checked the route home. Found nothing. Patricia looks directly at the jury now. Tears stream down her face. For 16 years, I wondered. Every day. Every single day. Where is my baby? Is she alive? Is she hurt? Is she scared? Is she calling for me? She takes a shaky breath. I put up flyers. Thousands of them. Her face on every pole. Every store window. Have you seen Aaliyah Davis? Her voice gets louder. I hired investigators. Spent every penny I had. Went into debt. Didn't care. Just wanted to find her. She points a trembling finger at Jerome. And the whole time, the whole 16 years, she was there, at her school, in the basement, 30 feet from where I last spoke to her on the phone. She stands up, shaking with rage. And he knew. He put her there. He killed my baby and stuffed her in a pipe like garbage. And then he watched me search. Watched me suffer. Watched me hope. Patricia stands up. The judge doesn't stop her. She shouts, my daughter was going to be something. She was going to make it out, going to go to college, play ball, maybe go pro. She had everything ahead of her. She looks at Jerome with pure fire. And you took it. Because she was black. Because she was successful. Because she dared to dream. Because she was everything you hated. Patricia's voice drops. Quiet. Deadly. She leans over the railing. I hope you rot in that cell. I hope every day feels like a year. I hope you die alone and forgotten. Because that's what you deserve. She sits back down. The courtroom is silent. Jerome still shows no reaction. Just sits there. Empty. But one juror is openly weeping. Others have their hands over their mouths. Several look at Jerome with pure hatred. The prosecutor says quietly, no further questions, Your Honor. Tyrone's father testifies. Keisha's grandmother. Darnell's mother. Jasmine's parents. Kareem's entire family. All of them tell the same story. Bright kids. Talented kids. Kids with futures. Kids who were going to break cycles. Change trajectories. Make their families proud. All of them stolen. By a man who hated what they represented. The trial lasts 3 weeks. The jury deliberates 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. 6 counts of first-degree murder. Judge Maria Hernandez looks down at Jerome over her spectacles. Mr. Caldwell, You have been found guilty of murdering 6 children. 6 innocent children whose only crime was being successful while not being white. You hunted them, stalked them, killed them, and hid their bodies for years while their families suffered. You have shown no remorse, no humanity, no decency. I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. 6 consecutive life sentences. You will die in prison. And you will die knowing that those 6 children accomplished more in their short lives than you ever did in your entire miserable existence. Jerome shows no reaction. Just stands there. Empty. He's taken away. To Wisconsin's maximum security prison, where he'll spend the rest of his life. But the story doesn't end there. The investigation expands. How did Jerome get away with this for 16 years? Detective Jonas examines every failure point. Failure 1. The school. Principal Robertson admitted she never pushed hard for investigations, never connected the pattern, never demanded answers. She's asked to resign. Does so in January 2020. Replaced by a new principal who immediately implements safety protocols, student check-in systems, security cameras, better oversight. Failure 2. The police department. 6 missing persons cases from one location, all minimally investigated, all labeled as runaways. The Milwaukee Police Department launches an internal review, finds systemic issues, implicit bias in how missing persons cases are handled. Poor kids, especially minority kids, don't get the same attention as middle-class white kids. The chief of police issues a public apology, promises reforms, new protocols, better training, dedicated task force for missing persons. But apologies don't bring back 6 children. Failure 3. Donovan Plumbing Services. Detective Jonas interviews Frank Donovan and Danny Kowalski. Were they complicit? Did they know? Turns out, no. They didn't know about the bodies, but their negligence allowed Jerome to continue. For 16 years, Donovan Plumbing serviced Lincoln Heights Middle School. For 16 years, they only did temporary fixes. Snaked drains, cleared clogs, collected fees, never investigated the main line, never opened the cleanout in the boiler room, never did the job properly. If they had, the bodies would have been found years earlier, maybe after Aaliyah, maybe after Tyrone, certainly before all 6. Jonas presents her findings to the district attorney. Are Frank and Danny criminally liable? The DA says no. Negligence isn't a crime. Being lazy isn't a crime. Prioritizing profit over proper service isn't a crime. But the court of public opinion disagrees. The story breaks. Plumbing company's negligence allowed killer to hide bodies for 16 years. Donovan Plumbing Services is destroyed. Customers cancel contracts. The school district drops them. Businesses refuse to work with them. Frank Donovan tries to fight it. Hires a PR firm. Issues statements. Frank speaks to the press cameras, looking flustered. We followed industry standards. We did what was asked. We couldn't have known. Nobody cares. The company collapses within 3 months. Danny Kowalski is fired. Can't find work. Everyone knows his name. The lazy plumber who snaked drains 127 times and never looked deeper. He moves to another state, changes his name, tries to start over. But Jamal Washington becomes a hero. The plumber who did his job right, who refused to take shortcuts, who insisted on investigating properly. If Jamal had just snaked the drain like Danny always did, the bodies might still be there. Jerome might have killed more students. The families might never have gotten answers. But Jamal cared. Jamal took pride in his work. Jamal did what was right instead of what was easy. The Milwaukee Waterworks Department offers him a job. Lead plumber for the entire school district. Better pay, better benefits, better purpose. His first mandate: inspect every school's drainage system. All 163 schools, top to bottom. Main lines, cleanouts, everything. No shortcuts, no temporary fixes. Do it right. Jamal accepts. Quits Donovan Plumbing. Starts his new job March 1st, 2020. His team finds problems everywhere. Old pipes, tree roots, blockages. Nothing as horrific as Lincoln Heights, but problems that need real fixes. They fix them. Properly. Permanently. In December 2019, Lincoln Heights Middle School holds a memorial service. The school is renamed, now called the Remembered 6 Academy. In the front courtyard, a memorial is erected. 6 bronze statues, life-sized. 6 students, forever young, forever remembered. Aaliyah Davis, arms raised in a jump shot. Inscription: she soared. Tyrone Mitchell, holding a gavel. Inscription: he spoke truth. Keisha Williams, mouth open in song. Inscription: she sang hope. Darnell Thompson, football in hand. Inscription: he broke barriers. Jasmine Rodriguez, looking through a telescope. Inscription: she reached for stars. Kareem Jackson, fist raised. Inscription: he fought for justice. The families gather. Patricia Davis, Tyrone's father Jerome Mitchell, Keisha's grandmother Dorothy Williams, Darnell's mother Angela Thompson, Jasmine's parents Carlos and Maria Rodriguez, Kareem's mother Lisa Jackson. They hold hands. They cry. They remember. Principal Martinez, the new principal, speaks. Principal Martinez speaks into the microphone, her voice echoing. These 6 students were stolen from us. Stolen from their families. Stolen from their futures. Stolen by hatred. Stolen by racism. Stolen by a system that didn't value their lives enough to protect them. She gestures to the statues. But they are not forgotten. They will never be forgotten. Every student who walks through these doors will see their memorial, will learn their stories, will know their names. She reads the names slowly. Aaliyah, Tyrone, Keisha, Darnell, Jasmine, Kareem. She looks out at the students. They deserved better. They deserved to live. They deserved their futures. We cannot give them that, but we can promise to protect every student who comes after them. We can promise to notice when children are missing. We can promise to fight for them. We can promise to care. She concludes. The Remembered 6 Academy stands as a testament to 6 bright lights that were extinguished too soon, but their legacy will shine forever. The crowd is silent. Then someone starts singing. Softly. A gospel hymn. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Others join in. Voices rising, filling the courtyard. That saved a wretch like me. The families sing through their tears. I once was lost, but now am found. Patricia Davis holds Aaliyah's basketball jersey, the one Jerome kept, the one the police returned to her. Number 23. Was blind, but now I see. The song ends. The memorial service concludes. The families place flowers at the base of each statue. Purple flowers for Aaliyah, her favorite color. Yellow roses for Tyrone, his mother's choice. White lilies for Keisha, from her church choir. Red carnations for Darnell, his team colors. Sunflowers for Jasmine. She loved astronomy, loved the sun. African violets for Kareem, chosen by his Black Students Matter Club members. The families leave, slowly, reluctantly, not wanting to go, not wanting to leave their children again. But the memorial will always be here. The Remembered 6 Academy will always stand. The names will always be spoken. Jamal Washington attends the ceremony, stands in the back, doesn't want attention, doesn't want to take away from the family's moment. But Patricia Davis sees him, walks over, takes his hands. Patricia Davis walks over and takes Jamal's hands. Thank you. Thank you for caring enough to look. Thank you for doing your job right. Thank you for bringing my baby home. Jamal's eyes fill with tears as he looks at her. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I'd insisted months ago. Maybe. Patricia squeezes his hands, interrupting him. No, no maybes, no what-ifs. You did what you did. You found them. You gave us answers. You gave us closure. You gave us a chance to bury our children. That's everything. She hugs him, tight. A mother's embrace. The other families join, one by one, thanking Jamal, thanking the man who refused to take shortcuts. Jamal drives home that night. His kids are waiting. His daughter Keisha, age 9, his son Marcus, age 7. He hugs them tight, holds them close. He kisses the tops of their heads. I love you. Never forget that. They don't understand why he's so emotional, but they hug back anyway. Jamal thinks about Aaliyah, Tyrone, Keisha, Darnell, Jasmine, Kareem. 6 kids who should be alive. 6 kids who should have futures. 6 kids who deserved better from every system designed to protect them. He thinks about his job, inspecting school drainage systems, looking for problems, fixing them properly. It's not just about pipes anymore. It's about safety, about protection, about making sure no other Jerome Caldwell can hide horrors in plain sight. Sometimes it means bringing children home.